Nash Buckingham's The Shootinest Gentleman. Originally published in Darydale Press, this is a LibriVox recording. LibriVox recordings are always in the public domain. So the judge and I, in rare good humor, forgot to add that there had been a dusty bottle of the judge's famous port standing by. And Horace had come, following the custom of many years, to take final breakfast instructions, and the judge called out to Horace, "Horace, tell me, who was the best duck shot, the very best duck shot you'd ever paddled in this lake, bearing, of course, myself?" Now, surveying himself with the coyness of a juvenile, the judge stirred his now beating toddy dreamily and awaited the encore, and Horace squirmed a bit at the closing words of the judge's query, struck deep with an appalling menace upon his ear, and he plucked nervously at his battered headpiece. His eyes, exhibiting a vast expanse of white, roamed pictured walls and smoke-dimmed ceiling in furtive, reflective, helpless quandary. And he replied, "Judge, your honor, sir, us all has our good days and our bad days with the ducks, but yes, my lordy, us sure do. These times within the ducks, they fly all over everywhere and everybody, and still us can't hit nothing. Like me and you was this morning." Now the judge down, you know how it was. Sometimes the wind blows strong, and sometimes the wind blows kind of soft like. Sometimes the ducks fly high, and sometimes the ducks come in. And there are times when it looks like there ain't no shot too hard, no nary too duck too fast to be killed. But one day Mr. Nash, he brought in a gentleman from way over, and he said, "Horace, this gentleman's from England, and his name is Mr. Morney, Mr. Harold Morney. And say, I want you to paddle him tomorrow and see that he gets a grand shoot. Now, do you understand?" And I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Nash, I'll surely do that, sir. Now, if Mr. Morney, he's going to have a fine picnic with the ducks if I have to see to it myself. But can he shoot, sir?" And Mr. Nash, he said, "Well, Horace, Mr. Horace is a fairly fair shot, about like Mr. Emmett Joyner and Mr. Hal Howard. But I say to myself, well, now, if that's the case, me and Mr. Money gonna do some shooting in the morning." And I meet him in the morning, and I noticed he had in his shell bag a great big happy bottle of that Brooklyn Handicap. And I says to myself, well, me and Mr. Money, we gonna get along some way. I says, now I paddles him up the lake like he said, and tells me, and he says, "Horace, do you have any wager," he say, "or proposition to make to me in regards to the shooting them elusive wildfowls?" he say. I kind of studies a minute, because I done say, he talked so brief, because he's way over on the other side of the big water over in England. I guess it's about that. He says, "Do you follow me, Horace, or is I alone?" I says, "No, sir, mister, I'm right here in the boat with you." "Now, has you no proposition to make with me then?" he says. "No, boss, I'll leave all that with you and your generosity, sir." And he says, "Very well, Horace, very well. I sees you done grasped the principle. And now I'll make you the proposition," he say. "I just keep on paddling. And every time I miss a duck, you gets a dram of this here bottle, and every time I kill the duck, I gets the drink. Which is it? Come, my man." I don't believe I heard Mr. Money rightly, and I said, "Mr. Money, did you say, sir, that every time I could have the choice of whether you misses or kills a duck to get a drink?" And he says, "That's my defy," he says. Well, then I'm going to choose every time you misses, sir." And he says, "Horace, right here where you got to be careful, because you're going to fall out the boat and get fired from the lodge, because if you gets drunk every time this gentleman misses, and he shoots like Mr. Hal Howard, you're going to drink a whole world of liquor, And I purl up to the handworker stand, and I peeks back, and I see several blackjacks, 4 of them sitting in there. Now, they done seen us too, and up they come. I spies them twisting and turning. I said, "Mr. Money, you get ready." And he raises up and shoots. A boom, a boom. About that time them blackheads go out, they gonna hit the water. And I was halfway to that bottle of Brooklyn Handicap. And Mr. Money, he says, mighty cool like, "Horace," he says, "will you kindly examine that last chap closely and observe," he say, if he ain't shot through the eye. And I rakes in that blackjack and showing up both eyes done plumb shot out. Yes, sir, both of them right out. Now, Mr. Money, say I was slightly afraid, he said, that I had unknowingly struck that fellow a trifle too far windward. He said, a very first start, my man Horace, he said, you better place me on my station so I can continue without interruption. And I say, yes, sir. I say, I'm right on my way right now. And I'm going to give that man an opportunity to miss a duck. And my day had just started. I'm Joe Guide, and this is a short reading of Nash Buckingham's The Shootinest Gentleman. Now, in 1953, my Uncle Bob, he also did a recording of Nash Buckingham's, which was real popular, and it's mentioned in one of the books that George Bird Evans wrote, although he misspelled the state. It was Manning, South Carolina, not Manning, North Carolina. And there's an excerpt, and I hope you enjoy it.